Hey, I'm Jace Diehl, and I'm here to introduce to you the Muppeteer behind Gonzo, Bunsen, Zoot, and many more, who's been a part of the Muppets since the original Muppet Show, now streaming on Disney+. The most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Muppetational, Dave Goelz. Thanks for joining me, Dave.
Wow, thank you. That was quite an introduction.
You deserve it. Hey, before we get started, can you give us a little taste of some of your character voices, like maybe Gonzo?
Well, Gonzo would sound like this, sort of. It's a certain kind of voice.
And how about a little Bunsen Honeydew?
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew is sort of way up in the nose. Bunsen's way up in here. Gonzo's
how about a little
back.
Zoot? What does Zoot sound like?
Hey, Zoot he's like way down here. He's in there. I'm in here. It's cozy.
So because you've played so many amazing characters on the Muppet Show, I thought it'd be fun to show you some impressions from across the internet, from TikTok to YouTube, of your amazing characters. And first, we'll start with an impression of Gonzo.
Hello there. It has been asked, can I do Gonzo's voice? The answer is, not really.
What was that puppet? Where did he get the puppet?
Yeah, it was a really detailed puppet. Even the eyes moved like the actual Gonzo puppet.
I guess just why would I put myself out of work? Why am I going to help these guys? Who in the hell wants to help somebody put you out of work?
Well, just
that's terrible.
Agreed. Disgusting. This impressionist not only did the voice, but he's doing the puppeteering, which is also what you do. People might think that you just do the voice, but you're every part of it. So can you give me a little Muppet masterclass? What is behind the fleece when you're doing it?
I'll tell you a couple of Muppet secrets. And one is the way that the head moves when they talk is like this, right? Now, the reason you talk like this, looking at it from the side, it's like that, is that you don't want the eyes to go up and down. Like if you talk like this, it'd be like somebody talking to you that way. And it also has the added benefit in that it makes them look earnest. They are really talking to you. And when you are moving your head while you're talking to camera, you want to go right into camera like that. And you can talk like this, but you can't talk like this so much. You can, we do it a little bit once in a while, but when you do that, you lose eye contact with the audience. When you do this, you always keep the eyes right on the axis into lens. That's a couple of things.
I won't tell these tips to the last impressionist. We'll keep
do not tell him.
Why don't we kick off the holiday season with a holiday song?
Hey, maybe we should just skip the song and get on with the show.
Oh, I get it now. You don't want us up here.
If viewers don't recognize him, that was Bobby Moynihan on SNL.
I thought it was me. I didn't realize that was Bobby, huh? No,
which
Bobby's
you worked
a
with
friend.
when you guys did the live show at the Hollywood Bowl. It was amazing.
We did. Oh, Bobby, God, he's such a great guy. He's so talented, but he also happens to be crazy about the Muppets. And literally, we worked together for about a week when we did the Hollywood Bowl. I would still catch him between moments, like when he had a moment in a rehearsal, or even during the show. He would go over to the puppet table and he would start looking at the puppets and pick up their hand and look at them. But he would just study them. Wow. And I realized that he's just loved this stuff for a long time. It was a real joy to meet him. We met him in 2009. He was working on SNL. I wasn't watching Saturday Night Live during that period, so I didn't know him. Those days, when you're being a parent, you get tired at night. You don't go looking for Saturday Night Live after a hard day being a dad. But he saw that we were shooting. He was up literally on 30 Rock. We were shooting out in front. And he came running down and said he'd always wanted to meet me. He said he wanted two things in his life. He wanted to meet me and he wanted to be on SNL.
Wow.
I was completely flabbergasted and honored. And then, of course, as I got to know his work, I really love his work, too. He was so good with us. Oh, God. He's got a ticket anytime he wants to work with the Muppets, I'm sure. He's just so great.
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew here at Muppet Labs, where the future is being made. Today, here is my assistant, Beaker. Me.
Okay, where did this guy come from? Is this stuff you find online?
Or, too.
Are these your friends, or do you just find them online?
It's just all across the internet. I feel like everybody does Muppet impressions because they're the voices to do.
I never look for that stuff. I have to tell you, I'm too busy to look on the internet for that stuff.
You're too busy being the Muppet. So I'm curious, especially with Bunsen and your other characters you've played, they've been in crazy situations. And so I'm curious, what was the crazy situation that you've been in to be able to puppeteer? like underneath a table, underneath a piano, and moving cars sometimes. What was the crazy situation you've been in?
All those things. In the Muppet Caper, Beauregard was driving a taxi with Gonzo and Kermit and Fozzie in the back seat.
Okay, good. Now just keep going straight. Will do.
And we literally had a stunt driver wearing a bow costume drive us through a breakaway door in a hotel in London. On either side was concrete. We were sitting on the floor, kind of propped up with pillows and cushions, and just hoping that this guy would line it up right. So he managed to do it, and we survived that. I did another thing for Emma Otter's Jug Band Christmas, which was fish in a tank playing in a rock concert, catfish. And to do that, I had to have my arm through this plastic cylinder that contained water. There was a scuba arm glued into that cylinder. So I would go into the arm, and I couldn't, if I pulled out, then the arm would invert and it would swell up and probably burst. So I couldn't leave, but I was in there, and they had me sitting, the tank was fixed to the set, and I was sitting on a chair on a forklift. So I'm sitting on this forklift doing the character and watching a monitor and thinking, if something goes wrong with this forklift, my whole arm is going to come off. I'm just going to go down and my arm will just be in the tank. I was very happy when we finished that one.
Is that right? You once puppeteered on Disneyland rides as well, like as they're going?
Yeah, I had, and not only for Gonzo and my own characters, but I had to do it for Jim and Frank because they got motion sickness. I did Piggy and Kermit on the teacups, Star Tours, all these motion rides where the actual movement of the ride would upset their equilibrium. And I just didn't happen to get that kind of motion sickness, so I did all those too.
Oh, and before we continue with more questions and impressions, I want to let everyone know that you can now stream every season of the original Muppet Show on Disney+. And with today's sponsor, NordVPN, you can get more out of your Disney Plus subscription. Disney Plus has region-locked content, meaning that different countries have the rights to stream different movies and TV shows. So with NordVPN, you can change your virtual location with a click.
That's how I live and breathe.
Oh wow, look at that! Now I'm in the jolly good United Kingdom, where I can watch movies and TV shows that are only available here. Like Modern Family, Family Guy, American Dad, The Martian, The Waterboy, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Donna, The Planet of the Apes, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Futurama, Bob's Burgers, That Thing You Do, Spice in the Sky, 500 Days of Summer, Atlanta, How I Met Your Mother, Scrubs, New Girl, Independence Day, Blue Balance, John Paul, Raven, Fire, and much, much more content that you can only find on Disney Plus if you have NordVPN. On top of all that, NordVPN boosts your privacy by encrypting all your data and hiding your IP address. So go to nordvpn.com/Jace Diehl or click the link in the description to get a 2-year plan for 73% off plus 4 additional months for free. Now, on to the next impression. Just a quick little zoot there.
Hey, that's fine. Let's just bring him in.
I wanted to talk about some of your side characters that might just show up in only one episode of The Muppets. I brought together the top 4 weirdest characters you played. A decapitated Jabberwock head.
Can I just put on my body and go home?
And we have Kermit the Pig.
Hey-ho, Kermit the Pig here!
The Koozebanian Spooble.
Hey there, Kermit. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, that's funny.
And lastly, an avocado.
I'll ask the avocado. Well, what'd you think?
Ooh, loved it.
Which one of those characters were your favorite to play? I think they all showed up in only one episode.
I wouldn't have even been able to tell you that I had performed those, but I can recognize my voice and my manipulation, so I know I did. Did you find the frame of the Muppet Show that has my whole face in it?
No, I don't. Is that in the original Muppet Show?
Let's just give that to you as a homework assignment. It's the only frame in the entire 5 years with a human face in it.
Wow.
And it was accidental.
Oh.
It was revealed just for an instant. So what's the favorite? I don't know. That was the beauty of the Muppet Show. That there were all of these one-shot little things that we had to do. So what would an avocado sound like? Well, I figured like guacamole. It would be smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's what I figured. I don't remember doing it. I know I did it because I can hear my voice. This is why I'm excited to watch the series. I know that there are going to be billions of memories that come up, the things that I haven't watched for many, many years. And I'll just think, oh my God, now I remember doing that. Or I remember what happened that day. It'll be interesting.
Stop. Last one. Waldorf. Oh, all these impressions are extremely bad. Including that one.
That kid has a future. He is funny. Oh my
So were
God.
you doing impressions when you were his age? Were you doing voices and puppeteering at that age?
Yeah. At 5, I was fascinated with puppets. It was at least a year, and I did puppet shows, and my mom and dad got me marionettes, some hand puppets from Beanie and Cecil, and a Howdy Doody dummy and a Howdy Doody marionette. And I still have my Howdy Doody. He's sitting over in the corner here. He's like right over, I don't know if you can see him, but he's
oh, wow.
right there. That's him. And they were a huge part of my life for a little period, and then I moved away to other things.
With that impression that kid just did of Waldorf, that's one that you took over for Jim Henson. And I'm curious, does your approach for Waldorf differ from your characters you've originated?
Completely. I'm trying to preserve Jim. I'm trying to sound like Jim. And the weird thing is that I don't even ad lib with Waldorf. Now I've done him considerably longer than Jim did, but I still think of him as Jim's character, and they are dialogue driven, Statler and Waldorf. They are jokes that have to be delivered exactly as written. And I don't ad lib with him on the set. I don't play around with him because I just feel like I'm standing in for Jim. I'm just helping Jim out.
And for my next trick, I will have an interspecies relationship with this chicken.
I did not know these people were out there. I had no idea there was so much interest in this.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, come on.
Okay, well, you learn something every day.
So with Gonzo, he's now obviously in many Muppet productions on Disney Plus, but also I was watching Prop Culture, and he had an amazing cameo there as well. What was that like, being on another show apart from the Muppets on Disney Plus?
Well, that was really interesting. I did not know what to expect. They turned out to be really nice people. Dan, who is the host of the show, is actually an avid prop collector. And it was weird. I just thought, props, why do they want to see props? And then once I saw the series, I thought, oh, wow. But that was fun to do. And I actually really enjoyed the whole series.
What are the significance of these pieces to you beyond just the character that you played in the film?
Nothing. Just clothes.
It was amazing speaking to you. I've been a big fan for a really long time, and I can't wait to watch all 5 seasons of the original Muppet Show on Disney Plus, now streaming.
Me too. Thanks a lot, Jace.
Great. Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much.